Hey,
Hello, this is Linda.
Hello,
Hello, this is Linda Cunningham.
this is Pastor Brett. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
This is Marilyn Mancini. Can you hear me?
Yes. And this is Stacy Feast. I'm also here on Zoom.
Pastor Britt, you can go ahead and proceed with invocation.
Shall we pray? Our Father and our God, we thank you for your goodness and loving kindness, tender mercy today that you have made, and certainly we're going to rejoice and be glad. And we thank you, God, for this homeless commission as we come, God, as we come tonight, God, to discuss the business of helping those that stand in need. Even in the Bible, you said the poor will always be with you in the land. You were saying unto us as people of God that you had commanded us to be open-handed. You commanded us to feed the hungry, to clothe the naked. So as Mr. Strickland and his committee, as they come together and give them wisdom, give them knowledge how to help those that's less fortunate than we are. I pray the blessings of God and the favor of God upon these thy people everywhere. And we'll give it back to you in praise. In thy son, Jesus the Christ's name, we pray. Thank God. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Britt. At this time, I'd like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
one nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all. Madam City Clerk, would you be able to call roll for quorum?
Commissioner Stacy Feast,
Present.
Commissioner Linda Cunningham,
Present.
Commissioner Marilyn Mancini,
Present.
and Chair Strickland.
Present.
You do have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. At this time, members of the public wishing to address the commission on matters within the jurisdiction of the city of Seaside, but not on this agenda, may do so during the public comment period for up to 3 minutes. Public comments on specific agenda items are heard under that item. For the public record, please state your name. The clerk will provide instructions on how you can be identified for public comment.
Members of the public participating on Zoom, please use the raise your hand feature or dial *9 if you're calling in from a phone. Chair, at this time, no members of the public have indicated they wish to make public comment.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. At this time, we need to approve the minutes for both the April 22nd, 2021 regular meeting and the June 24th, 2021 special meeting. At this time, I'd like to open that up to discussion by commissioners.
I didn't see any changes that needed to be made. Oh,
I motion to approve the meeting minutes from the April 22nd and the June 20, I don't remember the date, special meeting.
I second.
At this time, I'd like to call to a vote. Approval of the minutes for the special meeting on the special meeting on July 22nd, 21, and the regular meeting, April 22nd, 21 minutes.
Commissioner Feast,
Aye.
Commissioner Cunningham,
I,
Commissioner Mancini.
Aye.
And Chair Strickland.
Aye.
Your motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. At this time, for business items, agenda item A, review and approve approval of the 2021-2022 work plan. Recommendation to review and approve draft of 2021-2022 homeless commission work plan. Remove draft format and finalize place document on the City of Seaside Homeless Commission webpage. At this time, I'd like to open up the discussion.
I am so sorry, but I
I'd like
can't
to
hear
open
you.
that up to discussion by commissioners.
I am so sorry, but I couldn't hear you.
I apologize. I forgot to have the mic on, so I'll repeat myself. Business item A, final review and approval of the 2021-2022 work plan. Recommendation to review and approve the draft of the 2021-2022 homeless commission work plan. Remove draft format and finalize to place document on the City of Seaside Homeless Commission webpage. And I would like to open that up to discussion.
When I reviewed it, I thought it looked great. This is Linda.
Yeah, I agree with Linda. I think it looks good. I think it would possibly be helpful, moving. I think we should approve it and then maybe we can, set some dates for some of those items either tonight or during our next meeting so that we can try to make sure that we accomplish as much of it as possible this year.
Do I have a motion to approve the 2021-2022 work plan?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve the 2021-22 work plan.
Do I have a second?
Second. Marilyn.
At this time, I'd like to do a roll call vote to approve the work plan.
Commissioner Feast,
Aye.
Commissioner Cunningham,
I,
Commissioner Mancini.
Aye.
And Chair Strickland.
Aye. The work plan passes 4-0. Moving on, our next agenda item is to accept introduction and presentation by Derek Elder, the City of Seaside Family and Community Support Program. Derek?
Good evening, commission members, chair, members of the public. My name is Derek Elder. My title is Family and Community Support Practitioner. It's a fancy way of calling me a social worker in case anyone is wondering what that is. And I oversee the Family and Community Support Program for the City of Seaside. One thing to know about our program, one of our primary functions is operating in a mobile crisis response. So we work in partnership with our city's emergency services. So that's Seaside Police, that's Seaside Fire, any other emergency services as well. And we respond to calls of a nature that could maybe use a social service response, mental health response, or anything just along those lines. So that's our primary functioning. But of course, with that, we do help to provide supports to address some of the public health issues and challenges that the city faces beyond just, an individual crisis. So in this case, we're speaking on the topic of homelessness. And so, in some ways that our program can be supportive just in addressing kind of the homelessness issue. At a micro level, we operate often in outreach type capacities. So we'll locate individuals or families, in the community, the city. Sometimes we get called out to encampments as well. And we'll provide direct, engagement, immediate intervention. So that could be care packages, linkages to food distribution. That could be emergency shelter or relocation referrals. And those are the immediate types of interventions we can provide. But we also try to, if it's identified people need more long-term support, we operate in a case management capacity. So these are activities that, are more like connecting them to long-term housing programs, community benefits through, Monterey County Department of Social Services, that would be the food stamps, right? Or, something along those lines. Working with them in life development type activities, resources, whether they want to try to find a job or, something along those lines. So that's kind of macro level. That's just working more directly with, smaller groups, individuals, families. But at a more macro level, so a larger level of how we could be supportive, we are right now engaged a lot in building partnerships, having that collaboration across the city with all sorts of entities and organizations that are working with the homeless population in some way or another. And we're trying to, develop ways that we can, in our direct interactions, provide feedback as to what the needs are, the challenges, explore ways that we can advocate for equitable policy development, access to funding, resources, distribution, construction projects, whatever it may be at a larger level. We can help to kind of speak and be a voice to those that maybe can't, always, themselves be represented. And then we also, and in front of you, at least Chairman Strickland, you have a resource guide that we put together. And this, what we did is we kind of identified throughout the county and different areas of need, from shelters, housing programs, to mental health services, to substance use services, to, RV sites. You think about the realm of needs that, potentially the homeless population could, utilize. We've tried to identify some of those resources and compile it into one document here. And part of our, ongoing activity will be to continue to be, keep ourselves apprised of any new programs that come up, maintain this list, provide it to, the commission, provide it to, our city's emergency services, any folks that work with the county, with the homeless population, they're able to have this resource guide that they can hand out, they can utilize themselves, in some way, if they're interacting or engaging with an individual who's homeless. And so these are kind of some of the ways that we can be most supportive in our work, as y'all are, focusing on how do we really address this ever-growing, challenging problem of homelessness. And so with that being said, I'm open to questions, comments, anything.
I did have a question. Have you distributed this literature to any hotels or motels or other government buildings in the city of Seaside yet?
So we brought it directly, actually, to the building we're in currently. Definitely provided it. I know I've provided to our police department as well. In terms of kind of other entities of that nature, not so much, but per your kind of question, that gives us a good idea to, consider to also provide it to those types of, places as well. Because and I've worked with individuals who have directly, stayed in some of the local hotels, I've interacted with some of the hotel managers who are very supportive. They're very reasonable about, how they offer their accommodations. And so this could be something that could be probably useful to them as well. And so, yes, we will consider doing that in the future.
That sounds great. I'd like to invite the rest of the commissioners if they had any questions.
This is Linda Cunningham. I wondered if you have looked at our website with homeless information on it that's on the city website.
Mhm.
And if you liked it, if you felt there was things that were missing.
I did have an opportunity to look at the site, and I do like it. I think it's it's every opportunity to provide information and resources from an electronic kind of database or standpoint to direct the paper documents, whatever is important and key. I think as much as I was able to review the site, sometimes having, some explanations around what the actual program is, or having more than just maybe a website link, but an actual phone number or something, also listed is more helpful. Some people just aren't computer savvy. And so, having phone numbers can be helpful. Some people just like that. Though we are in an area, the era of technology, some people still like the old fashioned way of communicating.
Thank you so much. I, for one, do appreciate a phone number, and I hope we can make a note of that so we can work on that. Do you find just for some people struggling with housing that they do not have a grasp of all the services that are available to them?
Yes, definitely. And that's why, really this resource guide and, we consider as a fluid document that's going to always be changing as we are, new programs are popping up post, pandemic, as, the need for housing is probably one of the primary challenges lots of cities are facing right now. And so, yes, I think it's very important, that we are, always keeping our information updated and apprised to whatever the current need is.
Thank you. And thank you for what you do.
Mhm.
Were there any other questions from the commission?
No other questions, but just want to say thank you, Derek, for that information and for your presentation.
I'll leave some of my business cards here so that, if our program needs to be contacted to be able to, do our work, we, want to make ourselves available. So you'll have this, it's also on the front of the booklet as well.
This is Linda
Thank you very much,
Cunningham
Mr.
again. Would I be able to swing by City Hall and pick that packet up tomorrow? And if yes, who should I talk to, or what should I specifically ask for?
You can, we'll have the city clerk, Dominique, she'll have them in her office, and you can speak with her about it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Elder. So my question, Madam City Clerk, for this agenda item, are we going to partner with the City of Seaside Family and Community Support Program formally as the Seaside Homeless Committee?
Can't take a vote on this item since it is agendized as such.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to accept partnership with the City of Seaside Family and Community Support Program and Mr. Derek Elder?
Chair, prior to you taking a vote, you may want to do public comment on this item.
I would like to open it up to public comment. Members of the public that wish to address this agenda item may have 3 minutes to make public comment on this. And for the record, please state your name.
Members of the public, if you wish to make public comment, please use the raise your hand feature or dial *9 if you're calling in from a phone. Chair, no members of the public have indicated they wish to make comment on this item.
Very well. Do I have a motion to accept a partnership with Derek Elder and the Seaside Family and Community Support Program with the Seaside Homeless Committee?
This is Commissioner Cunningham, and I motion to accept to form a partnership with the City of Seaside Family and Community Support Program.
Very well. Do we have a second?
Second.
I'd like to take a roll call vote on the City of Seaside Homeless Committee forming partnership with Derek Elder and the City of Seaside Family and Community Support Program.
Commissioner Feast,
Aye.
Commissioner Cunningham,
Aye.
Commissioner Mancini.
Aye.
And Chair Strickland.
Aye.
Your motion passes unanimously.
Very well. Our next agenda item, C, discuss the appointment of a homeless commission co-chair. Our recommendation is to accept and approve a nomination for a co-chair to the Homeless Commission. So on this item, I would like to say that if any of the other members of this commission are interested in serving as a co-chair, they would work together with city staff. We would help prepare agendas for future meetings. We could even discuss holding special meetings as we see fit. It's a little bit of a time commitment, but it's very doable. I would encourage any of you here tonight, if you would be interested in serving as the co-chair on this committee, to do so. I would like to open it up for discussion at this time if anybody was interested or maybe wanted to nominate someone to serve as the co-chair for this committee.
Hi, this is Stacy Feast. I would be interested and willing to nominate myself, I suppose, to serve as the co-chair with you, Ben.
Are there any other comments or recommendations or on Stacy Feast serving as the co-chair?
I support Stacy being the co-chair. And this was Commissioner Cunningham.
Are there any other commissioners that support Stacy serving as the co-chair that would like to make a comment? Well, I'd like to make a comment. Stacy, I think you would be great for this position, and it looks like you have overwhelming support from the rest of the committee to serve as the co-chair of the Homeless Committee. So can I make a motion? I'd like to make a motion to vote for Stacy Feast to serve as the co-chair of the Seaside Homeless Committee. Do I have a second?
I second.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Madam City Clerk, do we need to open this up for public comment? At this time, I would like to open it up for public comment on voting to have Stacy Feast serve as the co-chair of this committee. You have 3 minutes, and for public record, please state your name.
Members of the public, please use the raise your hand feature or dial *9 if you're calling in from a phone. Chair, no members of the public have indicated they wish to make comment on this item.
I would like to call a roll call vote to appoint Stacy Feast as the co-chair of the Seaside Homeless Committee.
Commissioner Feast,
Aye.
Commissioner Cunningham,
Aye.
Commissioner Mancini.
Aye.
Chair Strickland.
Aye.
Your motion passes unanimously.
Very well. Stacy, congratulations and welcome aboard.
Thank you, Ben.
At
I
this
look forward-
time, I would like to discuss reports from the commissioners. Would any of the commissioners like to give any reports related to homelessness in the city of Seaside?
Yes, so this is Commissioner Feast, and I just wanted to make the commission aware of a project that was funded through from the California Department of Housing and Community Development. And it's a partnership between the county and there are 3 projects, but it's working with 2 different housing developers. So there's going to be 1 project in Greenfield, 1 in Salinas, and then 1 in Marina. And it is for permanent supportive housing. And I would be happy to give kind of like a full report in the future. But essentially there will be total about, I think it's about 37 units total. I think I need to confirm that number, but at the Lightfighter Village project, which is going to be in Marina, it's a partnership with the Veterans Transition Center, who will be providing supportive services and sorry, I'm blanking all of a sudden. EAH Housing is the housing developer. And so they're building a big development, and there are going to be 17 units of permanent supportive housing through this No Place Like Home project. And so it's going to be available to veterans in the community. It's a couple years down the road, but I just kind of wanted to make everybody aware of it. And as I said, I'd be happy to give kind of a more full report on it at some point. But it is in the pipeline. And then also just to say that a lot of the money that is coming down from the state and what we expect is that it will be for this type of housing. So permanent supportive housing, where there is kind of a full array of services as well as housing. And so I think, you know, there will be all sorts of organizations involved, but kind of on the services side, things like what Derek presented on earlier with Family and Community Support Program. You know, there's a big push for partnering supportive services and housing that's coming down from the state. So I just wanted to bring that up and say that I'd be happy to provide more information in the future.
Thank you, Commissioner Feast, and we'll all definitely look forward to hearing more about that. Let's see, Commissioner Mancini, did you have anything to report to this commission?
Yeah. Well, we're back to masks again. So the gathering place for women in the Seaside, they do need more masks. So if anybody has any masks around, I am back sewing masks, so I will get them there, but I know that need a lot more through. So far, they're doing great.
Thank you, Commissioner Mancini. Commissioner Cunningham, did you have anything to report to this commission?
I have nothing to report at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Cunningham. As far as myself, the thing I was going to report, I had an idea for a trifold brochure to deliver listing homeless services, but it turns out Mr. Elder had already put one of those together. So it just kind of worked out that way. So that's what I have to report. And that concludes reports from commissioners. Reports from staff at this time.
Mary Gutierrez, Fire Chief, and your staff liaison. I did attend the Monterey County Homeless Coalition meeting yesterday as part of the Division of Labor. Wasn't able to attend the entire call, but a wealth of information. And I do encourage those 2 members who are going to join me on that commission to join that call. And just assist me in bring more forward information to this commission and to the community. So that's all I have for my report.
This is Commissioner Cunningham, and what is the best way to get
Chief
information to
Gutierrez, I
attend?
did have a question. Did you have contact information of everyone who was on that call? And would you have recommendations of who members of this commission could contact about that?
I believe, and I'm confident that I believe yourself and Marilyn were part of an email that hooked us up to the Zoom link. So I'm going to make sure in the future that you have that Zoom link and that I'll just remind you about it. But I think it was you and Commissioner Mancini that agreed to be on this commission. So I'll make sure that I remind you and that we're all on it together, or at least one of us is on it on a regular basis. So I'll take care of that.
Thank you, Chief. Any other reports from staff at this time? Very well. Seeing there's no other reports from staff, do I have a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting?
I'll motion to adjourn the meeting.
Do I have a second?
This is Commissioner Cunningham, and I will second the motion to adjourn.
All in favor of adjournment, we take a roll call vote. Just aye. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
All right.